All right, listeners, welcome back for another deep dive. And today we are diving into a single source.
Okay.
This is a sales pitch, and it's a sales pitch for a domain name,
All right.
terminal.top.
Interesting.
And the reason we're looking at this is because this is a very interesting price tag,
Okay.
over $41 million. dollars.
Wow.
And it's not just that, though. What's interesting about this is they're not just selling a website address. They're trying to sell this idea of a brand powerhouse for the entire .top
Wow.
domain ecosystem.
Okay.
So really trying to position this as like the king of .top.
I see. So they want to be the I guess the Google of .top. Is that
Yep.
kind of what they're implying, or
The Amazon of .top.
the overlord? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Ah,
to help us kind of unpack this, I've got an expert here with me.
Hi, Aaron.
And maybe you could just walk us through like what are the key claims that are being made about this domain name?
Sure. So, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that they're trying to sell this idea of like a brand powerhouse, right? Like if you buy this domain, you become the sort of owner of the entire .top universe. And that's a very interesting proposition
Sure.
because it suggests that domain names are evolving beyond just being like an address on the internet, right? Like my website is www.whatever.com.
Yeah.
This is suggesting that it could be something more akin to like
Uh-huh.
digital real estate. Like you own a piece of the internet in a way that
That's interesting.
you don't with just like a regular domain name.
Yeah. And it's interesting because they're not doing this with like .com.
Right.
It's .top. And I think
Yeah.
most people when they think about domains, the first things that come to mind are like .com, .org,
.net.
.net, right?
Yeah, you got it.
The classic.
OGs.
Yeah. Where does .top even fit into this little landscape?
So you're right. Those are the big players. Those are the ones that everyone knows and recognizes. And
Yeah.
there's a reason for that. They've been around forever. But there is a whole universe of other domain extensions out there, and .top is one of them.
Okay.
It's actually a relative newcomer. It was launched in 2014.
Oh, wow.
And it saw a surge of popularity, particularly in Asia, but it hasn't really reached that kind of mainstream global adoption that you see with the .coms and the .orgs.
Okay, so it's not necessarily what you would consider like
Okay.
a premium domain extension.
It's debatable.
Okay.
Some people might consider it premium, some people might not. It really depends on your perspective
Okay.
and how much you value that particular extension.
Okay. So to justify this $41 million price tag,
Right.
the sales pitch kind of throws around these terms like SEO optimized, and
Oh, yeah.
future-proof investment.
Sure.
But those are kind of common buzzwords.
Yeah, you hear them everywhere.
Yeah. Is there anything specific to this domain, terminal.top, that backs up those claims?
So there are a few factors at play here.
Okay.
First of all, single word domains. They can have an SEO advantage, right? Because they're shorter, they're easier to remember, and they often contain relevant keywords. In this case, you've got terminal and top.
Yeah.
And those words do have that kind of tech innovation vibe to them, which could potentially boost SEO, but whether that translates into significant benefits,
Okay.
especially within a less established domain extension like .top,
Yeah.
it's a big question mark. And then there's this idea of future-proof
Right.
investment. But honestly, like the only thing guaranteed about the internet is that it's constantly changing.
That's true.
So I don't know if anything can truly be called future-proof.
Yeah, it feels like they're banking on somebody wanting to
Yeah.
become synonymous with the entire .top extension.
Right.
Almost like a gatekeeper or a curator of all things .top.
Exactly.
And to help with that, they're even offering to create marketing materials, like a landing page sales video,
The whole shebang.
the whole shebang.
Yeah.
What's the implication there?
So that's a really key part of this offer, right? Because it suggests that they're not just targeting someone who's looking for a website address.
Yeah.
They're looking for someone who wants to build a brand around .top itself. So imagine like a hub or a directory that promotes and manages other .top websites.
Yeah.
That seems to be the vision that they're selling here.
Okay. It's a bold vision. I'll give them that. But
Yeah.
$41 million seems like a huge gamble.
It absolutely is. I mean, short, memorable domains that can fetch high prices. We've seen
Yeah.
that happen.
Yeah.
But $41 million is a whole other ballpark.
Yeah.
They're essentially betting on someone buying into this idea that owning terminal.top gives them control over an entire domain extension,
Right.
which is a highly speculative concept.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that .top is ever going to reach the kind of mainstream adoption that you see with .com.
Right.
And even if it does, who's to say that this one domain is going to hold the influence that they're implying?
So, for you listening out there, if you had $41 million just burning a hole in your pocket, would you take the terminal.top plunge?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this whole pitch, it really forces us to think about what a domain name represents in today's digital landscape.
Okay.
Is it just an address, or can it be a platform, a brand, an entire ecosystem like they're suggesting?
Yeah.
Terminal.top might be a gamble, but it's a gamble on the future of the internet itself.
I like that. That's a good way to end it. Gamble on the future of the internet itself. All right. Well, thanks for joining me for this deep dive.